everyone, and welcome back to Fabulous. We're starting another episode, y'all. Daytime to nighttime tutorial. Let's get started. I am so sorry I've been gone for so long, y'all. School, work, and life has just got me all a crazy hot mess. I'll tell you that right now. So we priming the face with some hard candy, and we're taking some Flawless foundation. This is Femme Couture. This is some new foundation I'm trying, so I noticed it is a little bit hard to apply by itself, so at least with this brush, this oval brush. So I got the brush a little bit more sleeky with the oil, and this is the Pure Romance oil, and then of course I'm setting the entire face with some Fit Me foundation setting powder from Maybelline. For my eyeshadow, basically I have been using this NYX concealer, which I have just been loving every single time I have applied any kind of eyeshadow lately. It's just the consistency and the coverage, and just the fact that it just keeps the eyeshadows from moving, and they stay for a really long time, actually. So far I've used Unconditional and Unspoken for my transition shades. I build both of them on top of each other, and I like to do this on a daily basis just because I like to have a little bit of definition in the crease, but not too much, because, you know, it's every day. I don't want to take too much time defining my crease. And then for a little bit of depth, I'm using Untamed just on the outer crease and buffing it out with a fluffy crease brush. Now this step is totally optional. You could totally just apply your eyeshadow on the eyelid without any kind of extra concealer, but I'm applying this just as a glue almost, and then I'm just going to blend it out with my finger, and then I apply the eyeshadow with my finger just because I feel like it gets a little bit more opaque that way, and then I just pack it on to the concealer. Otherwise you can just apply it to the eyelid without putting on that liquid concealer. And honestly, I don't have time to define my crease like I am right now, but you know, I figured for this video I'd make this daytime look a little bit more clean, but you know, on a day-to-day basis I don't pay attention that much to detail. I took Unreal on my eyebrow just as a highlight as well. Alright, for the inner corner highlight, I'm using my Sculpted Face highlight from NYX Cosmetics, and I've been loving this for the inner corner highlight just because it's white, and so if I use a color, it'll just blend into the color. It'll just kind of match anything, and I love it because it's really reflective. I'm loving my telescopic mascara. This stuff is just the bee's knees, y'all. Now on a day-to-day basis, I do love using my LA Girl concealer in the shade Fawn. This is a really subtle highlight, but it also really has great coverage as a concealer, so I apply that on the highest points of my face and under my eyes. Give a nice blend out, and, you know, call that good for the day if I really want a really subtle contour. And I make sure that my beauty blender is nice and moist. Ew, I hate that word. Wet. A little bit wet. Ew. Now again, this is an optional step. I'm using the NYX Liquid Concealer. This is the HD Concealer, which took me forever to figure out how to use. And I'm applying this just underneath the eyes, and what's left over on the Beauty Blender, I'll take down the bridge of my nose. That's just for like a little extra wake up to the eyes. You know, if I'm feeling extra tired or something, I guess. And then set it with some Anastasia. Now my contour palette is so sadly like diminished, and I've already hit pan, but you know, I've been working out of it, and I'm just like, I'm not giving up on it. It's just my favorite, but you know, I think I threw it out after that. It's fine. So I threw a bit of Unconditional and Unspoken underneath the eyes just for a little bit of subtle smokiness, and applied some mascara. And then I used the highlight, just a little bit of the highlight out of the NYX Cosmetics My Sculpted Face palette. It's white, like I said, so I don't use it too much because otherwise I'll look a little bit ashy. So just a little bit, you know, doesn't hurt. So I'm using two NYX liquid lipsticks today. The first one is Downtown Beauty. This is a liquid suede lipstick, and I'm applying that on the outer, you know, lining my lips with that. And then on the inside I'm putting Corset, which is a nice subtle brown nude. Smack them together because thankfully they are both matte, and I love the blending on that. Using one of the more warm peachy blushes out of the e.l.f. blush palette, and that's usually what I do for a day-to-day basis if I have enough time to do all of that, but you know, it's pretty quick, wham bam, thank you ma'am. And I love wearing this to school or work, everyday stuff, you know. So moving on to the rest of the face, I'm using Unspoken, and I'm gonna define my crease a little bit more with my smudge brush from NYX Cosmetics, and I'm just gonna build up the color a little bit more than I did before, just to make a little bit more of a sultry look. I didn't really want too much of a defined crease, but I was just using the same color over and over again and just building up the color. Now I'm just taking this shade Untamed, which is the darkest brown chocolate color out of that palette, and I'm going to apply that on the outer V of the crease and just kind of blend it lightly with my fluffy brush. the NYX Cosmetics smudge brush is dual-ended, so that's what I was using. Now this is a liquid liner by L'Oreal Paris, and this has been like good days and bad days with the liner because of the brush. I actually clipped the brush so it was shorter, thinking it would help, and it didn't really make it better or worse. It kind of stayed the same. So I might just eventually learn how to apply it to the back of my hand and then apply it differently, but I was just using the applicator because I just wanted to get this look done, because I was like, I'm on a roll. I got other stuff to do. I got other things to film. Alright, so moving on to my lashes. These are natural lashes, and these are my favorite lashes so far I've found from Ardell. They're really wispy. They're not too thick. They're not too long, but they are very natural looking, but they're very accenting at the same time, and I've died over them. I need to get more. But I figured I'd just do a look that was pretty simple. You know, you could wear out to a bar, out to a simple date, something that was a little bit, you know, a little flirty or something like that. Nothing too special, but something that was definitely contrasting to everyday. This is eyeliner pencil by Wet n Wild, and I applied it on my waterline, or at least attempted to. It wasn't too pigmented, so then I just took more Untamed and put that as close to the waterline as I could without getting it into my eye, and then smudged it out just a little bit. And built up the color for Untamed as well, so it was nice and smoky underneath, so it was a little bit more of a focused eye look. Alright, so y'all know I'm a fan of using things on the fly, so I'm taking my Morphe 35B Plum palette and my fluffy contour brush and a really like subtly dark brown, and apply that into the contour areas just to get a little bit more of a deeper contour going than my daytime. Usually nighttime I like to have a really you know, dramatic contour, really noticeable contour, I guess. I don't know how else to explain it. I'm using some light powder from the Anastasia contour kit to clean up underneath the contour line, just to make it a little bit more defined and sharp. And then once I let that sit a little bit, I will blend it out with a little bit of the blush from the e.l.f. palette and apply it to the cheekbones as well. So it's like a 2-in-1, get things done. And of course, Fabulous has to have a highlight to the gods. So Becca Cosmetics Moonstone highlighter, all on the highest points of the face. And today I'm taking my first ever Gwen Stefani Urban Decay lipstick. These are samples I got from the Urban Decay Gwen Stefani collaboration palette that she came up with. This color is called Rocksteady, which is a really pretty deep rose red, or maybe like a blood red, I'm not sure. I just thought it was a really pretty color, and I thought something bold and red for a dramatic night look was perfect for a little contrasting between day and night. Alright, and that is it for this tutorial. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you all are inspired by this night and day type of look. I know I could do something a little bit more dramatic, but I thought I'd do something that was pretty simple that anybody can do for any kind of occasion. So much love, and stay beautiful inside and out.